A sleep-deprived ghost falls into your arms, Street Edition. Written by Rosaphie. Chapter 5. What did you say? Summary. Tim and Dick get more and more concerned about Danny while going to the Bad Burgers. Is he just messing with us, or? Dick asks after dragging Tim to the bathroom to talk privately. Well, he has said concerning stuff like that since I found him, Tim explained. He told me his parents shoot at him, Dick exclaimed disbelievingly. Wait, that's more information than just his so-called bullies, Tim commented. The weapon that got him here was invented by his parents. Dick sounded distressed. Maybe they hated him, due to his meta status? Tim mused. He's a meta? Dick questioned. Yeah, most likely. He doesn't have a pulse when he sleeps, Tim explained. I've never heard of a meta with the ability to turn their heart off, Dick mentioned. He also told me one time that he was so glad my security doesn't shoot him. When I asked why, then he said it would always lock on him at home, Tim said tiredly. Wait, is he your newest case? Dick asked. Yep, he's more interesting than the other kidnapping case. Tim yawned. Oh, well, I need some more coffee. As Tim made his way out of the bathroom, they grabbed him by the arm and dragged him in the living room. Tim didn't complain. Hey Daddy, come on, we are going to eat out, since I think Tim was too tired to order anything, they called out. But coffee, Tim whined. Then he jumped off the couch in excitement. Sure, where are we going? Bad Burgers. Dick nodded. On the street, Danny looked around with interest. Really, the only time he was outside of the apartment was just around the neighborhood or to follow Tim as Phantom, so he was fairly curious and asked Dick, Hey, do you know where I can get scrap metal and wires? Tim won't tell me. Tim sighed. We talked about this. No, you're not going to build a weapon to shoot yourself. Why would you want to shoot yourself? Dick asked, concerned. To get home, duh, Danny said as if it was a completely normal reason. So, will you tell me where it is, or do I need to find archaeologists? Danny asks. That made Tim pause. What did you just say? He turned slowly to look in Danny's direction. Oh, that if he knows where the scrap metals and wires are, he should tell me, Danny explained proudly, not at all realizing his slip-up. No, not that. The second part, Tim questioned while narrowing his eyes at Danny. Danny in turn rubbed the back of his neck and replied, That I need to find archaeologists? Tim, what's going on? Dick asked, confused. Danny, do you know anyone named Phantom? The young CEO inquires. Yeah. We are friends. Why? Danny questioned, while narrowing his eyes at Tim in suspicion. Hey guys, are you hungry or not? Can't we have this discussion in the Bad Burgers? Dick comments. How long until we are there? Danny asks cheerfully. Oh, it's just around that corner, Dick pointed out. With that, Danny ran ahead, only to stumble backwards due to running into a 6-foot giant muscle dude. Oh, so sorry. Wasn't looking where I was going. Danny hastily apologized. The guy looked down at Danny, and then back up to see Dick and Tim. Did Bruce Wayne adopt another one? Was the only question that came out of his mouth. No, I will never let billionaires adopt me, Danny exclaimed, offended. This made the big guy chuckle. Why does every one of you find that funny? It's serious, man, the teen whined. Good luck with that, short stack, the guy responded before going on his merry way. Am I truly the only person who has a problem with billionaires trying to adopt me? Danny mused. Yeah, probably. Why are you so against it anyway? Tim asked before yawning once more. Well, if one Fruit Loop tries to kill your dad, marry your mom, and adopt you forcefully for what? A year and a half? You kind of get a problem with the idea, Danny explained as if he was telling the weather. An awkward chuckle later, and Dick exclaimed, We're here. This is Bad Burgers. Why is it even called Bad Burgers? Do they use bad meat for their burgers? Danny mused. They named themselves after the vigilante Batman, and the menu options are named after his sidekicks and villains. Wait, you guys have vigilantes here? Danny exclaimed in surprise.